For November the 21st, we did some cleanup. Cleanup of the office, cleanup of the code, cleanup everywhere. Hey, hello, fellow Sublime Text Fanatics. Odette Nerd here. Welcome to your Devember devlog update for Devember the 21st, assuming that I got the date right. And look at that, I totally did. It's been a very, very busy day. As I said, if you can see behind me there, if you turn the intro and you'll see again near the end of the video, we did a bunch of work in the back corner there. You can actually see my piano now. The desk is more set up. I tested some camera angles. I tested some lighting. I rearranged a lot of cables. There's still some more work to do. There's some equipment that needs to come, but those it's going to be the new video editing area or recording area rather for the other channel sometime in the start of the new year, fingers crossed. But let's get into what we actually did in code cleanup here. Now, this is the last commit here. Now, if you were following the live streams from last week, not the last one, but the one before, and the one even before that in the previous week, probably, I can't remember the whole timeline of this thing now because this month has been an absolute blur with all of the live streaming that we've been doing, going long on all of them, by the way. So if you haven't been paying much attention to these things, you want to get into these things. It's a fun hang, watching coding, asking questions, just otherwise chatting with some other developers. It's a chill time. It's quite cool. But what we were working on is a way to allow the user to navigate to a particular video in order to take an action. And the one we were using to define that was the one to copy a video link at some specific time code. We did a bunch of work in this with a hierarchical navigation in the get link command that allows it to, first it gathers the list of channel information. From that, it gathers the list of playlists, allows you to choose a playlist. Pardon me. And once you choose a playlist, it tells you all of the tags that exist in all of the videos in that playlist. You can choose a tag. Then it shows you a list of all of the videos inside of that tag. And once you choose one of those videos, it shows you the list of table of contents from the description of the video for you to choose one. And then it copies a link. And there's parts of that that are configurable based on command arguments. So if you don't want to browse by playlist and you just want to always go to the upload playlist by default for just all videos, you absolutely can do that. And if you don't want to browse by tags, you absolutely can do that too. You just change some arguments around in the way you're calling the command. So all of that worked. It took a while to get it all quite right. We need the same functionality in other places, say, for example, to edit a video. So do we want to have the same big, long pile of hard-to-follow code in more than one place? No, we do not, because that virtually guarantees that there is a problem in there that will need to be fixed, and we'll have to do it twice, and we don't even want to do it once. So we refactored all of that code out of that one command. So we can see here, if we look in get video link, this is primarily a big old sea of red. A lot of stuff went away. And on the converse, over here in core, this is a big old sea of green or teal, whatever this color is. A whole bunch of stuff came in to this thing. So what did we actually do here? We implemented a new helper class named YouTube Video Select, which is a subclass of YouTube Request. That's one that we've covered in a previous devlog. It wraps all of the standard machinery for any command that wants to or needs to talk to the Sublime API. You can just make a single method call and a sub-method will be automatically invoked. For example, this is a case of it in use. You call self request, that comes from YouTube request. Give it the name of the network request you'd like to make and why you're making it, and it does all of the work of building up a request, shuffling it off to the network thread, and when the network thread is all finished with it and is good to go with that particular thing, it will invoke back underscore channel list, because this is channel list, this adds an underscore, and this part happens, and then it can do more work here, right? So this is the basis for this whole entire thing. And then we have documented it here. Get the channel information, get the list of playlists, unless you have by playlist set to false, then it doesn't do that. Then it gathers the contents of the selected playlist, which would be uploads if you didn't do that. Then if you have by tags turned on, it'll get the list of all the tags of the videos that are in that playlist and ask you to pick one. Otherwise, it skips that and goes right to here, which is all of the videos, either all the videos in the picked playlist or all the videos in the tag. Doesn't really matter. And then once you pick a video, it will allow you to pick a time code from the video if there happen to be any. The time code being a table of contents entries in the description of a video that have a time code and then some text. YouTube uses them to show you chapter icons in the bottom of the play bar so you can find your way around a video. It also displays a little channel panel. Sorry, table of contents panel on the right-hand side sometimes. That's what that is. Now, all this code is just a pure rip from the command that we actually had, except for a couple of things, specifically these two things down here, pick table of contents and picked video. Now we could walk our way through this winding pile of logic here, but suffice it to say that eventually it gets to the point where this callback is being invoked to say that the user picked a video. So there's some checking done. If it's none, then the user pushed escape. You don't care. If it's the special video ID back, that means that there was a list of videos selected, and instead of selecting a video, the user chose back to go back to picking a different playlist or picking a different tag or whatever, because it's a hierarchical view. You can go backwards and forwards at any point. Otherwise, it calls picked video, which is this thing down here, which calls the select timecode utility function to ask you to pick a table of contents entry. And for that, it calls self.pickTalk, which is this one up here, which does work that says if a time code was picked, then we want to do something. And if it was back, then go back to picking a tag or go back to picking a video, whichever way we actually did this. Otherwise, call picked talk, which is this one, which does nothing. So the idea is you subclass this particular helper class, this YouTube video select, and then if you want to know if the user picked a video, then you override this, and it'll tell you the video that was picked and even the tag that was picked, if there was one. That might be none. This value here, you shouldn't touch this one or use anything that's contained in it because it does different things depending on the way the browse is configured. Don't mess your brain with that. You don't need to know about that information at all. You just need to know about these, but I was too lazy to factor this further to hide that. So if you would like to just know a video, override this, and video is the video that was picked. You don't even have to worry about if it's none, because who cares? You want to know how to proceed, not how to go back. All that's taken care of for you. If you don't override this, then it calls select timecode, which eventually calls this. And this one gets invoked with the timecode, i.e. some number of minutes, colon, some number of seconds or hours, if it's a particularly long video, but not even I am that prolific. And then the text, which is the text that was to the right of that table of contents entry, briefly explaining what it actually is, and the video that was actually chosen in case anybody cares. Now that one actually does nothing. But because we pulled all of this code out of get video link, and for this, let's say we go into preferences and twiddle the diff thing to be side by side no matter what, and we can see what changed here. YouTube get video link command used to have a bunch of stuff, but now it just has this. Pick table of contents, copy the video link of whatever the video time code that was chosen was, and all of the rest of this is gone. Look how much nicer and cleaner this code is as a result of that particular change. We'll go ahead and swip that diff back to the other setting like so. So this is just a really nice little, it calls the helper function to make the video link and then passes it to this, which copies it to the clipboard, displays a thing in the status bar. All good. That looks so nice. Now we moved on here because all of the browsing that we do is using a quick panel. Quick panels in Sublime Text 4 support the idea of a placeholder. And there were some defaults for those, which we changed a wee bit here. Those are in the util code. So we can see they used to be select playlist. Now it's select a playlist, select a video, time code in, choose time code in. This because these are the defaults if you don't tell it what it should actually be. And we actually modified the code of the thing we're just looking at to have these particular placeholders that you can provide. Now, the definition of that is over here where all those values are set to none, and all of the places where you call select playlist or select tag or select video or select time code, which is way down here somewhere, these all take a placeholder that is either the one that was in the class or maybe a slightly formatted one. Video tag and timecode placeholder here both take, this one takes an argument of tag in case you want to say what tag the person's picking a video from, and this one has the name of the video you're picking a time code from, because maybe that, it's interesting to know what it is you're actually doing. So over here we can see in get video link, there we go. When you're using this command, the quick panel actually shows you what it is you're doing, which seems fantastically great. And then we moved on to say, hey, you know what? Edit video details. That also needs to choose. Now, it's been a very constrained thing up to now because It used to be its own command before we started working on get video link details thing, the one we just looked at a moment ago. So it was basically a duplicate implementation. Well, now it's just a whole big old sea of red because all we really need is pick video to say that the user picked a video. All the rest of the stuff goes away, and then it can still, if it wants to, load a thumbnail and get actual video details to do something with. For the full details of this, you might need to see it like that. So we can see a bunch of this stuff went away. There's basically some comments that clarify what it's doing. It has its own set of placeholders because this one's editing details. It's not getting a link. The details for getting a channel list and playlist contents, we don't care. That's already handled for us. So was all the browsing. All we really need to know is that when the user picked a video, please ask for the details of that video. Create a new window with those details inside of it, and load the thumbnail. So super easy fix. It really enhances the browsing of that, and for that reason, there's now also a get. Oh, I need to twiddle this. I forgot. Sorry, I set this to by default. Just assume you want to pick by playlist, but not by tags. Because if you're going to edit video details, chances are you know exactly what video you want to edit. At least for my use case, easy enough to add this if we didn't want it. But we could see, for example, the ones for getting a video link have true, false, and true, true. So that it always asks you for this, but sometimes you might want to go by tags. If we wanted to, easily duplicate this, set that to true, add by tag to the name. We're good to go. You could even do that as the user of this package. That's the beauty of this whole operation. And then one last thing we did here was a slight modification to this command is the new YouTube window command that is used in the details thing. It now takes a new parameter called details, which is none. If you provide it, it sets them into the video details setting in the window. And over here, when we actually select the get the video details downloaded, we provide it. We have to untidict it here because this is a Dotty dictionary, but only standard dictionaries can be settings. The upside of this one is now in the video details window here when we're working with one, as we can see, it knew the title of the video and the description and the tags. One of the things this actually does, and we could actually look at it over here, I suppose, is it stores the video ID of the video that's contained in the window in a setting for very quick access if anything needs to know that sort of thing. It now also stores the video details. So if you needed to know more about this than just the title and the body and the tags, like how many times it's been viewed or liked or disliked or all that stuff, that is all now readily available in this command without actually having to fetch it yourself, which is great, right? I mean, I'd think so. Better view of the nicer, cleaner area back there. Still a little bit of stuff to do on this table. But in any case, that's the end of today's devlog. Remember, we're going live tomorrow right here on this channel at 8 p.m. Pacific time, working on something. YouTuberizer, definitely. What? I haven't quite decided yet. What of the things I want to tackle makes the most sense to do first? Do we want to try to get modifying content of the channel working and then work on how we modify the text inside the details window, or do we want to do that another way? I don't know. I'm going to think about that and let you know tomorrow. But while I'm thinking about that, you should think about using the buttons down below to thumb, subscribe, and share, and ring the bell notification icon, because then when we do go live, you'll get notified. In fact, you'll get notified 30 minutes before, so you can make sure you got your popcorn popped and you're ready to watch the antics unfold as you hang out with us in the live chat. And I hope to see you there. And until the next video here, the next live stream, or the next video on the other channel, this is Odette Nerd asking you to please have a sublime day.